Hello, welcome to the Moon Scarab channel. My name is Ramon. On this video, we will explore the meaning of all 16 of the court cards from the tarot. The purpose of this video is to make it easier to you by providing on a single video the essentials of what you need to understand to get started with reading the cards. You will see an explanation of what is depicted on each card. This is important because each tarot card is full of many details which are part of each message. I will also provide you with a group of meaningful keywords to the upright and reverse position on each card. You will see a zodiac correspondence, element, and numerology value. Once you understand the system, it's real easy. We all have the potential and skill to tap into the divine realm. It's just a matter of learning, applying what you learn, and believing with all your heart in what you do. Let's get started.
Court cards are often seen as difficult to understand, especially when you're getting started learning tarot. No matter how long you've been reading the cards, we all agree there's been moments when we get to a court card and we've paused to ask, what do I do with you? But once you know the basics about court cards, they're not as difficult as they seem. My trick to master the cards was 1. Understanding the levels of meanings within the court cards, and 2. Having a quick keyword or idea to jumpstart the reading of any given card based on the character portrayed. So I'm going to share with you some quick keywords and the most information on all 16 of the court cards. But before we go into the court cards, let's go back to look into some of the basics of tarot to understand the place court cards take within a tarot deck. A standard tarot deck contains 78 cards, and the tarot cards are divided in two main groups. One group is the major arcana, which are the first 22 cards of the deck and contains major life lessons, karmic influences, big archetypal themes, and cycles that influence your life and your soul's journey. The other group are the minor arcana. These are the remaining 56 cards of the tarot deck, and they contain aspects and events that we go through our daily lives. Minor arcana cards can also shed light on things that happened in the past. Our current situation is often influenced by events from the past, and the minor arcana cards can help us understand why we are in the situations we currently find ourselves in. Now, the 56 cards of the minor arcana are subdivided into four groups, the suits. These suits are the suit of cups. They deal with the realms of emotion and intuition and provides guidance on matters of love, relationships, and feelings. It's associated with the element of water. The suit of pentacles is represented by the element of earth and reflects the physical realm and our relationship with material things including finances, prosperity, work life, and health. The suit of swords reflects decision making, logic, and intellect. It's represented by the element of air. Finally, the suit of wands deals with our will expressed through passion and creativity. It's linked with the element of fire. Each suit has 14 cards. They go from card 1, which is the ace, through card 10. Cards 11 through 14 are not numbered. These last 4 cards are the court cards. These are 16 court cards in a traditional tarot deck, 4 in each of the 4 suits. Each court card portrays a court character. These characters are pages, knights, queens, and kings. The pages. Tarot pages represent youth, energy, curiosity, and potential. This character is seeing the world through childlike eyes, experimenting life, and having a passion for discovery. Tarot pages are filled with hope and excitement and usually appear to represent a beginning of a journey. The keyword I use to remember pages are newness, youthfulness, and immaturity. But when I say immaturity, I don't mean it in a negative sense, but something that is still in formation. Pages are very different from aces in that ace cards represent new beginnings, a new energy coming your way. Pages, on the other hand, are energies that are already here, but they're still in development. Pages are associated with the element of earth. Knights. The tarot knights are like the teenagers of the court cards. They're driven by action, following their passions in life. They have begun their journey and are focused on moving forward. They often appear when action is needed, but the future is unknown. Knights are associated with the element of fire. Quick keywords that I use for knights are action, will, and forward movement. Queens. The Queens of the Tarot deck embodies a mature spirit with a great sense of maternal protection and care through emotional intelligence. They have the ability to connect with those in need and support others. The Queen is like the mother of each suit. Quick keywords to remember about the Queen are nurture, protection, emotional intelligence, and intuition. Queens are associated with the element of water. They are the emotion over reason in the suit. Kings. Kings reflect logical maturity and can be understood as a leader who takes charge when necessary. The king is logic and reason over emotion. It's the mind over the heart. The king character is associated with the element of air. Kings are action that comes from reason and logic over emotion. Two important things that I want to mention. 1. Court cards embody energies. You can consider yourself a man and embody the spirit of a queen because of the nurture and protection, or you can consider yourself a woman and embody the energy of a king or a knight. We all have the balance of these energies within our personalities. So anyone or any situation can embody the energies of these characters regardless of gender. Now we're going to talk about the elements within the court cards. As mentioned, each suit of the tarot deck represents an element, but each character of the court cards represents an element too, and these are independent from their suit. These elements are: pages are associated with the element of earth. Knights are associated with the element of fire. Queens are associated with the element of water. And kings are associated with the element of air. By combining the element of the court card with the element of the suit, a whole new level of understanding opens up. For example, if we look at swords, the element of air. Pages will be the earth aspect of the element of air, or like the down-to-earth aspect of something logical. Knights will be the element of fire, so it'll be the action and will aspect of a reasoning situation. Queens are associated with the element of water, so it'll be considered like the emotional aspect of a logical situation. And kings are the air element of air, in this case, swords, so we can see it as the most abstract and logical of a logical situation. I hope this makes sense and you can understand what I'm trying to explain here. So, this level corresponding to the elements of each suit and each of the tarot cards can sound overwhelming, but if you familiarize yourself with these traits, you'll be surprised at how these personalities come to life too, and makes your reading of each of these cards richer. How to interpret the tarot court cards. Now that we talked about the different court cards and their relationships to their specific suits, let's see how we can interpret the cards in regard to our own lives. There are different ways we can interpret the court cards, and we must listen to our own intuition and consider the inquiry in matter. Sometimes a court card can reflect someone in our lives. Other times we will need to look deeply into the energy of the card and how it reflects our current situation. Let's look at the different ways we can interpret court cards. 1. Court cards as people. A traditional way of reading court cards is to apply them to specific people. That person can be yourself or someone else. Based on the inquiry and by understanding the personality represented on the court cards, you will be able to discern if it's about yourself or someone else. Court cards provide clues as to how a person thinks, feels, and acts, and what truly motivates them. It's important to remember that the traditional gender concepts and age portrayal of the cards does not necessarily signify the person that they represent. For example, the Queen of Swords can represent a younger man, even though we traditionally will see it as representing an older, motherly woman. It all comes down to which and what energy embodies each one of the cards. We all have masculine and feminine energy within us, and can identify with all energies and all ages. 2. The The court cards as an influence. Sometimes the court cards don't represent a specific person, but rather an event, an influence, or a situation that takes on a personality of its own. For example, the Page of Pentacles in a reading can convey a message about initiation or development of an endeavor related to income, material belongings, physical health, or your relationship with such material things, since Pentacles deal with the material world. Another example, the Queen of Wands on a situation. Since the Queen of Wands is a confident, fiery spirit who is strong, wise, communicative, protective, nurturing, and intuitive. This spirit invites you to be highly focused on your objectives, not hesitant to use your will and drive to achieve your goals. It can also represent a bold and fearless approach to a situation. It carries an emphasis on social context and successful leveraging of connections. All this in a cautious way, but with maturity and wisdom. Another example, the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords as an influence can tell us that an accomplishment is on the horizon. It might be advising us to concentrate on our hard work and use our intellect to achieve our goals. Infinite possible readings can come out of the court cards depending on your question, but it all comes down to understanding the spirit and energies that embodies each one of the cards and their suits. Now, let's talk briefly about reverse court cards. Reverse court cards are not evil people, but their characteristics can be weakened, unstable, and extreme. Reversals can represent refusing to act like that court card, like a queen who refuses to be protective, or a king that refuses to take charge. Now, let's do a deep dive on the meaning of all 16 court cards. We'll take a look at their suits, keywords on the upright and reverse positions, their zodiac and numerology values. The Suit of Cups deals with emotions, love, intuition, feelings, connections, and psychic abilities. When a Cups card comes up in your tarot reading, take a closer look at your dreams, your heart, and your intuition. The Suit of Cups is associated with the element of water. The element of water is symbolic of fluidity, feelings, emotions, intuitions, relationships, healing, and cleansing. It's a feminine element, which is receptive but also adaptable, purifying, and flowing. Its correspondence in a deck of playing cards is the Suit of Hearts. Cups tarot cards represent the astrological signs of Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Page of Cups. The Page of Cups tarot card shows a young person standing on a seashore with a golden cup in his hand. This page is wearing a floral tunic and a matching beret with a long scarf. A fish comes out of the cup, locking eyes with the page on the card. The blue waves in the background symbolize the waves of emotions. When the Page of Cups appears in a tarot reading, it's suggesting that brilliant ideas can suddenly burst to the surface. They are not formed yet, but it's a spark, a surge for something new. This card suggests beginnings, opportunities, and possibilities. A symbol of imagination, the Page of Cups can indicate turning away from the storms of everyday life, focusing instead on quiet reflection and the inner self. The fish in this drawing represents the unexpected. Like the fish popping his head out of the cup in the page's hand, ideas can manifest when you least expect them. There's a creative energy flowing within you. Maybe a new idea surfaces out of the blue. The Page of Cups tarot card is asking you to spend some time thinking about what you want to do with this new idea. When talking about a person, the Page of Cups indicates a person with a great charm and natural modesty. Generally has a gentle, quiet, and calm personality who truly wants to help in any way they can with care and love. In a literal sense, the Page of Cups can indicate that you will receive an unexpected and pleasant surprise. Pages are often known as the messenger cards, and with the Page of Cups, you may receive a message related to emotions, intuition, or creative endeavors. The Page of Cups is encouraging you to be a child at heart. Listen to your emotions and let them flow. Don't be afraid to let your imagination run wild once in a while. If you stop dreaming, it might be hard to ever accomplish what you want. Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups tarot card depicts an armored knight sitting on a white horse with a golden cup in his hand in front of him, as if offering it to someone. Over his armor, the knight wears a cloak covered with images of fish, the symbol of water.
His helmet and boots are winged. The horse in the Knight of Cups is not charging forward, but instead moves slowly, giving a feeling of calmness. The background is mostly barren, except for some trees far away and the river that flows through. Some people view the Knight of Cups as your prince or princess charming, your knight in shining armor, and your ultimate lover. But it goes beyond that. As with all court cards in the minor arcana, the Knight of Cups may reference an actual person or an idea. The Knight of Cups is a combination of action and creative energy. Where the Page of Cups is creative, the Knight of Cups takes that creativity and adds momentum and forward motion. The Knight of Cups is also the great romantic of the Tarot Knights, riding forwards, holding his cup as if to make a romantic gesture. He's in touch with his emotional side, but also clear upon his course. But most importantly, the Knight of Cups represents the energy to turn creative ideas into reality. It channels creative energies into useful forms. The horse represents power, energy, and drive, and the white color is a symbol of purity, spirituality, and light. The Knight of Cups tarot card suggests that deep-seated emotional needs are about to be fulfilled. Old wounds can finally heal, and grudges can be put to rest. Other meanings for this card can indicate travel over water or approach and arrival to a new creative or emotional situation. The message here is to take action and follow your heart. Whether you're falling in love with a person, a project, or an idea without fear or expectation. Queen of Cups. On the Queen of Cups tarot card, we see a woman sitting on a throne at the edge of the water. The throne is ornate and adorned with aquatic cherubs and a large seashell design. The watery pattern on her cloak blends into the waters at her feet, connecting her with the concept of water. Her cup is far more ornate than the cups used by every other card in the suit, including the king's. It's decorated with winged angels. Unlike all the other cups, hers is closed at the top, and it seems to contain something. The queen herself gazes intensely at the cup, as if she is seeing visions with it or communicating with something within. The Queen of Cups reflects the inner realm, where your intuition merges with your deepest feelings and desires. She represents a supportive and trustworthy person or energy, someone who gives birth to ideas and supports those of others. The Queen of Cups encourages to access your deepest feelings and to take care of them with tender love. When the Queen of Cups appears in a tarot reading, you are being asked to trust your intuition and pay attention to your feelings and emotions. Lead with your heart, not with your head. A Queen of Cups lies within each one of us. When she appears in reference to your own personality, it's a suggestion to think carefully about how you use your spiritual wisdom. She can be a sign that you should use your intuition to guide you. When referring about a person, this card can represent a powerful woman influential in your life, but also the embodiment of maturity, calmness, and sensitive energy. This card conveys the message of never leaving aside our intuitive capacity. Embody this energy by supporting people on an emotional level and show patience, understanding, and unconditional emotional support. King of Cups. This king represents the suit of cups and therefore the suit of emotion. He is the emotionally mature expression of the cups court cards. A king sits on a throne surrounded by a turbulent sea. A fish leaps out of the water and there is a ship in the distance. The king holds his scepter in one hand and a large cup on the other. A golden fish is suspended from a chain around his neck. The King of Cups is a card that symbolizes intelligence, diplomacy, kindness, tolerance, maturity, creative thinking, and wisdom. This card can represent the unity of your head and your soul. It's easy to mistake the King of Cups as a strong masculine energy card, but given that the Suit of Cups addresses emotions in general, it's actually a fairly balanced card. It has a lot to do with emotions, as well as its traits of generosity and emotional balance. When this card comes up in a tarot reading, it invites you to embody compassion and kindness. The king is strong and powerful, but he is aware of his feelings and the feelings of those around him. It's time to take control over powerful emotions with wisdom, leading your feelings to emotional maturity. The King of Cups suggests you need to remain emotionally mature when faced with negative energies from others. Be true to your emotions and feelings, not allowing the negative force of the turbulent seas to steer you off your course.
The suit of pentacles, also referred to as coins, deal with matters of the material and physical worlds. Pentacles are often misunderstood as only symbols of monetary and material matters, but they also speak of external situations like career, success, family, physical health, and creativity. In essence, it's related to all things that are matter, including nature and our body. The suit of pentacles is associated with the element earth, which is grounded, stable, supportive, and fertile. It's a receptive, feminine energy. Its correspondence in a deck of playing cards is the suit of diamonds. Pentacles tarot cards represent the astrological signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn.
Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles depicts a young man standing in a field of blooming flowers. There's a mountain range in the horizon, representing upcoming challenges and obstacles. The page holds a gold coin in his hand and examines it carefully, as trying to figure out how to manifest in reality its potential. When the Page of Pentacles appears in a tarot reading, you're tapping into your ability to manifest a personal goal or dream. You're excited about the possibilities and potential of what you put your mind to, knowing that you can create whatever you want with focus, intention, and action. It's an opportunity to start something new. The Page of Pentacles is not yet an expert, but has a clear goal and dream to achieve. But you must put in the work, and you must learn what is required to fulfill the goal. Since Pentacles rule the material realm and correspond to the element of earth, this page symbolizes awareness of the value of money, wealth, possessions, career, and physical health, and how to manifest more of these material blessings. That said, this page does not specify the fulfillment of dreams as much as the initial motivation and energy to begin the process of turning those dreams to reality. You need to put in place clear plans for achieving your dreams and goals. The Page of Pentacles often appears when you're ready to elevate your skills and learn something new so you can manifest your dreams. See this card as an invitation to try something new and discover another aspect of yourself. The more skills you master, the more goals and dreams you can achieve. The message of this card is, anything is possible, but you need to make it happen. Knight of Pentacles. A knight is mounted on a workhorse, holding a pentacle while looking at the horizon and the land. The horse is standing all 4 feet to the ground, symbolizing stability and connection to earth. This knight represents steady and practical progress. The Knight of Pentacles represents work, effort, and the responsibility that follows upon the dreams and ideals of the page. Out of all the knights in the tarot cards, the Knight of Pentacles is the most stable and secure. He is the only knight not charging his horse forward in a rush. The knight is seated, calm, still, and grounded. It represents a practical and dependable energy that will inspire you to always work hard to get what is wanted and needed. It's a stable character who considers everything before acting. When this card appears in a tarot reading, it's inviting you to work methodically, consistent, dedicated, and committed to your goals. The message of this card is, envision your goal, determine the best course of action, and follow a methodical plan with relentless focus to achieve your goals, and you will see imminent progress and success. Queen of Pentacles. On the Queen of Pentacles card, a beautiful dressed woman sits on an elaborate throne engraved with images of nature. Green fabric descends from her crown all the way to the ground beneath her feet. The queen holds in contemplation a large pentacle coin in her lap. Behind the queen's head, we see a cherub, who also seems to be looking at the pentacle coin in the queen's lap. Surrounding her throne are plants and flowers. A rabbit is seen in the lower right of the card, signifying energy, fertility, and the queen's association with Mother Earth. In the far distance, we see mountains representing the challenge to face to get to this place of nature and serenity. The The Queen of Pentacles is the nurturing energy of the material world that exudes care and compassion, and the embodiment of the Empress archetype. The card typically represents the dual ideals of prosperity and supportiveness. When the Queen of Pentacles appears in a tarot reading, it's asking you to maintain a compassionate, nurturing, practical, and down-to-earth attitude when dealing with others and your circumstances. When referring to a person, the Queen of Pentacles is often a breadwinner or working parent. The Queen combines career and financial success with her natural supportive nature. At times, the Queen of Pentacles may represent a mother figure in your life who can provide you with loving support and nurturing to help you get through the influences of your past. When the Queen of Pentacles is not referring to a specific person, the card typically represents the dual ideals of prosperity and supportiveness. The message of this card is focus on creating a calm and balanced life for yourself. Be resourceful and practical. Effectively using your talents will lead you to success. Keep in mind your more practical behaviors and prosperity will find you. King of Pentacles. Under a golden sky sits a crowned king. His throne is adorned with carved motifs of bulls, representing his connection to the astrological sign of Taurus. Grapes and vines adorn his robe, symbolizing abundance and wealth. He holds a royal scepter in his right hand and displays a golden pentacle on his lap, held in place with his left hand. He looks forward in a state of meditation. In the distance is a castle, and around him are lush grapevines and leaves. The King of Pentacles represents material wealth, financial abundance, and worldly success. This king is a faithful provider. He uses his ambition and confidence to create wealth for himself and others. He is also a fatherly figure who provides others with advice, guidance, and wisdom, especially in wealth-related matters. When the King of Pentacles appears in a tarot reading, you are encouraged to find confidence and success at attracting and managing wealth. This card can mean achieving big successes or life-changing accomplishments in any area. However, it's also asking you, how are you investing in yourself to create long-lasting abundance and stability? The message of this card is, when you engage in purposeful efforts, you will obtain success, but also be a leader, provide, and help others find theirs.
The Suit of Swords deals with the mental level of our consciousness that is centered around the mind and the intellect. Swords reflect our capacity of thinking, our logic, and the state of mind present in thoughts, intelligence, and communication. When a Swords card comes up in your tarot reading, take a closer look at your thoughts, attitudes, and beliefs. They deal with issues related to decisions, communication, reasoning, ideas, and inspiration. They suggest choices that are being made with the head over the heart. The Suit of Swords is associated with the element of air. Air is invisible, but also fluid and in constant movement, as gentle as breeze or forceful as stormy winds. It all relates to knowledge, action, power, and change. It's a masculine energy that can lead by force and power, even though it remains unseen. Its correspondence in a deck of playing cards is the Suit of Spades. Swords cards represent the astrological signs of Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Page of Swords. The Page of Swords tarot card depicts a young character standing confident with a sword in hand, staring off into the distance with a proud expression while the sky above is turbulent and a strong wind blows over the branches of the trees behind. Although a storm seems to be approaching, the page shows no fear. The Page of Swords stands confident and ready to take on anything in the way. When this card shows up in the reading, it's an encouragement to seek out new experiences and to take risks. The Page of Swords signals a new perspective or direction. This page has a new vantage point. As the swords relate to communication, the Page of Swords suggests that you are exploring a different way of expressing yourself with others and communicating your ideas and opinions with a new sense of direction, idealism, and enthusiasm. This card encourages you to start anew in mental pursuits, mental health, and communication, without needing external validation to do it. You're being called to embody the lessons you've learned and lean into your curiosity to make it happen. Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords rides confidently and swiftly into battle on his strong white horse. The sky behind him indicates a storm is coming, but he has no fear. He pushes forward with courage and optimism, ready to fight anything that gets in his way. This knight is forceful, assertive, and is often seen as being rash and impulsive. If you get the Knight of Swords in a tarot reading, it might suggest you to make a quick decision and take immediate action to make a matter in question to happen. Do it with an adventurous and passionate energy following your ideals. As with all knights of the tarot deck, the Knight of Swords represents an unstoppable energy, one which sets its mind on something. Since the swords represent intellect and mental processes, the card indicates the use of thinking skills to move ahead in life. The message of this card is, set intensely all of your mind to what you want to achieve, and you will be able to seize it. Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords sits on an ornate throne, looking off into the distance. The double-edged sword in one hand is pointed towards the sky, while the other hand is extended out, offering her support and advice. The Queen of Swords appearing in a tarot reading doesn't necessarily have to refer to a person. It might be posing traits of the Queen of Swords and their use in your own life. As an influence, the personality of the Queen of Swords combines the positive air energy of the sword suit with inward focus of a queen. The Queen of Swords is intuitive, wise, and a quick thinker. She embodies the energy of someone who reasons clearly and masters handling their emotional state. This queen can represent a man or a woman who is like her, or an atmosphere of honest, direct communication. This card could be about a person who has experience, knowledge, is wise, and reputable. Often represents an older woman, such as a mother or grandmother. The queen is aware of both her thoughts and emotions. She doesn't just move with her heart, she thinks things through. The Queen of Swords encourages you to look at all the facts and puzzle pieces before making a decision. The message of this card is, you are strong and powerful. Follow your intuition, guided by your wisdom. This will allow you to evolve to higher levels in life. King of Swords. The King of Swords tarot card depicts a king sitting on his throne with a double-edged sword standing upright in his hand. His expression is calm and serious, reflecting his calm demeanor and his qualities of logic, strong morals, and fairness. The King of Swords embodies the theme of the entire suit of swords: action, decisions, and swift movement. The King of Swords is a leader with a strong mind and an air of authority, rational, values-oriented, and undeniable intelligence. This energy is methodical, devoted, and prefer the abstract over the messiness of everyday life. They judge appropriately, using honesty to gain the respect of others. He uses intellect to understand the world around him. He follows with his head over his heart, using logic and truth to gain wisdom. If the King of Swords appears in a reading, he serves as a reminder to use your head when making important decisions. Tap into your intellect and mental skills to figure out the truth of a situation. In its core, it represents stability that comes from the ability to judge things. Look to embody these qualities one day at a time. Become more assertive. Understand what you want from life, and you can become a stronger and more structured being. The Suit of Wands deals with the action level of our consciousness that is centered around inspiration, passion, courage, and drive. Wands reflect our willpower, creative potential, and can suggest themes of projects, inspiration, and drive. When a Wands card comes up in a tarot reading, take a closer look at your thoughts, attitudes, and beliefs. They deal with issues related to purpose, will, and a sense of meaning in your life, seeking to understand more about what motivates and energizes you. The Suit of Wands is associated with the element of fire. Fire is a masculine energy, which is hot, wild, unpredictable, and energetic. It can be both creative or destructive. Fire is symbolic of passion, energy, enthusiasm, and sexuality. Its correspondence in a deck of playing cards is the Suit of Clubs. Wands tarot cards represent the astrological signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Page of Wands. The Page of Wands tarot card is depicted as a character in fine-looking clothes, standing in the middle of a vast and barren desert while clutching a long wand, gazes at it with confidence. The Page of Wands is a card of energy, enthusiasm, and adventure. It suggests that real chances to experience creativity, courage, charm, and inspiration are opening, challenging you to be great. When you see such an indication, you should always act on it. Sometimes, the Page of Wands implies that your entire situation embraces a spirit of excitement and adventure. Feel free to express your individuality and power with light-hearted abandon. If referring to a person, it can stand for a young at heart whose interactions with you involve independence, high energy, risky behavior, or shared enthusiasms. A person with a Page of Wands traits likes to take many risks while being brave and courageous. Moreover, such a person is also confident of jumping into something with no fears. When the Page of Wands appears upright in a reading, it's time to look towards the future, to embrace his energy and to jump into your passions. Something is calling you, be it a spiritual path or a creative one. But it's time to manifest and create. Go beyond any doubts or any limits. Knight of Wands. In this card, we see an arid desert landscape in the background, an expanse of dry sand, and 3 imposing pyramids to our left. Directly in front of us, we see a brightly dressed young man. In his right hand, instead of a sword, this warrior is holding a wand. In the left hand, there are the reins of his horse, which is excited and rearing for action. The Knight of Wands also wears a shining suit of armor and helmet decorated with extravagant orange feathers. His yellow tunic is covered with salamanders. The look on his face is both determined and self-assured. It's pretty clear that the knight and his horse are ready for action. While the Page of Wands marks the initial spark of a new idea, the Knight of Wands tarot card denotes the actual pursuit of this idea with energy and determination to see them materialize. It's the card that inspires energy, action, adventure, passion, impulsiveness, and boldness. It's about being wild and brash, being high-spirited and determined. If the Knight of Wands card represents a person, this is someone who prefers action over thinking. Sometimes, this means that it's an energy too impulsive for its own good. On the other hand, he is becoming more in tune with his instincts, and they are getting better at leading him in the right direction. The Knight of Wands tarot card encourages you to begin projects with enthusiasm and power. But also, you need to have a realistic view and, more importantly, a well thought out plan. Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands shows a woman sitting on a throne with lions on its back. The queen is wearing a golden outfit. On the background, a desert, often depicted on wand cards. This was the same landscape for the Page and Knight of Wands. Deserts are associated with spiritual awakenings, or places where you find inspiration. Personifying the waters and the element of fire, the Queen of Wands has a similar combination of elements as the Knight of Cups. These are combining opposing elements when neither of the contrasts can overcome the other, thus having an unstable balance between them. As a queen, she is the mother of the element, the emotion and sensitivity, thus having her attributes of love, understanding, and sympathy. Her fiery character provides pride, passion, inspiration, powerful independence, charisma, strength, and expansiveness. Since the Queen of Wands is a face card, she can also signify a person. She can be a mature feminine energy who is independent, friendly, charming, active, and passionate about what she does. The Queen of Wands asks you to be bold in your undertakings and actions. Don't be afraid of your own real power and put it into the world. You have so much to offer, so shine your light bright. Believe in yourself and what you stand for, and don't be afraid to speak up and be heard. King of Wands. Often associated with the astrological sign of Sagittarius, the King of Wands signifies a wise, open, positive, and adventurous masculine energy. A king-like figure sits on a cloth-covered throne that rests on a gray stone platform, holding in one hand a long wooden stick made from a tree branch and resting the other at his side. He is dressed in a bright orange robe with a golden crown shaped like small flames on his head. He wears a mustard-colored cape that flows down, covering the throne. The King of Wands card combines the realm of the passions and mental force. A natural-born leader, this creative king is always solving problems through innovation. He always has a clear purpose and direction despite having all the energy of a glowing wildfire. But his biggest strength is that he is able to see situations from all angles. He can create visionary solutions by connecting dots that others will not necessarily string together. When the King of Wands shows up in a tarot reading, it suggests that it's time to step up, make a bold move, and be a leader. It's one thing to be wildly creative, but it's another to turn your ideas into something meaningful. The essence of this card is to lead your life with intent, vision, and a long-term view. Act like a leader in a situation. Keep a cool head and keep your goal in mind without having distraction feelings that derail your way. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and share it with someone who might benefit from it. And click the subscribe button for more future videos about tarot, divination, and other esoteric topics.